Hi YouTube, I'm Dr. Wanda and I'm seated with
Gias.
Gias. It's been a while since you've seen her. So I told Gia, I said, why don't you sit down and have a chat with me just to get all of our viewers up to date with what's going on with Gia A. Long. So what's happening with you, Gia?
Um, Nothing really. We just had celebrate.
Nothing. How you gonna say nothing?
well, um, we just celebrated the new year. We're now in
Celebrate the new year,
2021.
2021.
We don't know what it's gonna be like yet.
Well, I wasn't one of those people that was like, hurry up 2020, rush in 2021 because I've had, people were saying 2020 was horrible, but I've had years that weren't 2020 that was far worse than this. So to me, it was just living and surprises, curveballs that life throws you. But what was your new year like?
My New Year life was. I see a lot of things have changed. Like, I went into things in 2021 and 2019, and I look back at. Sometimes I went to old spots and I go back to them.
Okay.
And they're like filled with all these different things and
Memories?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what happened to this?
Yeah, that's gonna be forever. Where you go back and there are changes and people that have moved and stores that have closed and friends that have gone on. And then what about all the new stuff?
All the new stuff, you just learning it.
So it's just
it's
new.
confusing.
Oh, it's confusing. Okay. Do you have an example?
Yeah, some of my friends have moved to different spots.
So they're not in Timbuktu Town.
They're not in Timbuktu Town. They're not in the spots where I know. So it's confusing to be able to find them.
So you miss them.
Yes.
Does that explain why you call me more and want to come to Palm more and want to spend more? Oh, so you're missing people.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that explains a lot. Yeah, because Gia was always like completely self-sufficient and happy in Timbuktu Town. In fact, I would have to, shake her chain as opposed to her, shaking mine. And now you call me quite a bit to say, listen, I want to come spend time with you. I want to be with you, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But now it explains why there's this wound in you. Well, school is coming back. What day does school return?
This week actually.
Okay, so the U.S. platform, us doing the online piece there was a complete failure. Even as we speak, we left that platform alone because it was just a lot of not being able to get in. Microsoft 365, having all these firewalls. Some teachers willing to work with Gia, other teachers not willing to work with it. If they had all been willing to kind of go through Gmail, we would have gotten over that hump, but they wasn't. So I've also learned that my daughter needs to be in a brick and mortar. Like it's just too much online. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Oh, you finally agree?
I finally agree.
So you're looking forward to actually going into the school?
Yes, I look forward to it. I actually miss going into the school. I'm tired of being on a laptop, and sometimes the laptops, like if your parents are home or something, children sometimes have the advantage to say, "I'm not going to school."
Yeah.
So I'm just, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
Pretend like I'm in school.
Yeah.
Or really they're absent all these days.
So I appreciate your honesty about that.
I don't even trust that, but I know since I'm with you, I'm not gonna play that.
Please don't. I'm actually excited about Gia going back into the brick and mortar. We're here in Ghana. That's one of the advantages about being in Ghana because in the U.S., they're still pretty much locked down. They're trying to figure out some ways to get kids back in school. But I don't want to play that game, and I don't want to play the COVID game because the COVID-19 numbers are still way, way up. Whereas in Africa, people don't want to admit it. The COVID numbers are low. It's not that COVID is everywhere. It's all around the world. We're not two people that believe it doesn't exist. We believe it exists. We just believe that the diet, the herbs, the sun,
the health.
Yeah.
It just takes over.
It just takes over.
And I mean, they're already gonna get worse because.
You speak of the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, like, because it's gonna be cold. So when it's cold,
You shut in.
you're like you more shut in, but that gives the virus to get even higher because in a cold environment it can stay because it's not burning off anything. It's just there.
Okay. Well, that's your theory, and you sticking by it.
Yeah.
We made it through Christmas
Made it
in
through
Ghana.
Christmas.
And how was your Christmas?
My Christmas is nice. I wish they would get rid of this Santa Claus.
Oh, leave Santa alone. She came with this new thing with all these different Listen, I always raised you with the spirit of Santa. I never put a big emphasis on that individual.
But I wanted to be a black Santa.
Well, he's whatever you want him in your mind to be.
Why can't I just wish I could ever see just a black Santa with the Ghana print on it all over his coat jacket?
What I'm gonna say is, what your mother does is when I want something, I create it myself. So if that's what you want to see, you need to start creating that or work with somebody to create that. But at this point, it is what it is. But I'm less interested in the symbolism of Christmas and more the giving spirit, the heart.
Yeah.
So Ghanaians still need to work on that, not asking people, strangers, people they really don't know for gifts, even though I kind of understand that's kind of built in loosely in the culture. But also being a cheerful giver, being able to say, hey, I was thinking of you, I'd like to give you something. So we had a little bit of more balance where we gave some things and we actually received some things. So that was really nice, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so we did Christmas. Let's talk about these festivals. You came to my arts fair. You came just recently to the launching of the library. What's your thoughts on those two major events?
The launching of the library was actually yesterday. It was less stressful. It was a lot more easier. I mean,
did you like it?
Yes. I mean, the arts festival was a lot of stress.
It was stress, and I try to explain to Gia, whenever you're doing something new, whenever you're doing something groundbreaking, whenever you're stretching people, whenever you're bringing something into a depleted area, it is stressful. It does not roll out, play out like you want it. But in order for people to grow and change, you have to introduce things, especially if you believe it's going to help make them be healthy. If you think it's good for community development, individual development. Do you believe those two things work?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, it was worth the stress, but I do agree with you. The library installation was heaven compared to that.
I mean, so many children.
Lots of children.
And I mean, so just a pack. And you look at the library and it literally looked like a real life library.
It looks like a library. It's a doghouse converted into a library with lots of love, attention, and affection and detail. Full of games and books and puzzles and what am I forgetting? Coloring books and crayons.
And
yeah,
games and
so I filled it, and then but it was emptied out because they were engaging with it. Did you feel like they needed it?
Yeah.
How did you know?
I knew because, like, at the reading thing, there were some people where they didn't know how to read.
Yeah.
And I just looked at it and I was like, that used to be me.
Yeah. Gia was a delayed reader, most of it because she was just cantankerous and difficult and felt like it was boring. And then she got to a point where, like, hey, even stuff that she liked required reading because there's a lot of stuff that gives you basic directions. How do you play the game? How do you sign up for something? She learned a little quick. I better learn how to read.
You always told me, when I was little, you told me, Gia, imagine somebody selling lemonade at the lemonade stand. And you said, if it was, I think you said like a quarter or something. You told me that what if you didn't know it was a quarter and you almost hand them all of your money? You could get robbed or you could get steal.
You don't
food.
understand everything, yeah.
And I always thought and looked at you like you just want me to just look at the book.
Well, did you see the vulnerability of the youth? Because listen, there were many dynamic readers there. We're talking second language learners here. So this is not their first language, and this isn't necessarily their mother tongue either. And they were demonstrating mastery. But there were some that desperately wanted to read and were struggling. And even Isaac he said with some of his boys that skate, he said, I see that they need to read. I said, yes. If they skate, play basketball, soccer, whatever, you still need to have a study table, even if you don't do nothing but make them sit down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes at a time. They'll get better. I'm very proud. I'm excited about the arts fair. Don't get it twisted, but I am just so proud about the library. It was a completely a library full of nothing but Afrocentric books, images of themselves, stories of people that look like them, and it came throughout the diaspora. There's stuff from Haiti, from America, from various countries on the continent, the Caribbean, and that's one of the things that gave it a special kind of flavor too. I noticed that they were really looking, even when they couldn't read, they were looking at those pages, excited to see images of themselves.
But don't forget that your little friend, the one that I gave the Barack Obama book to.
Yeah.
I used to love that book, by the way.
Did you?
Yes. You kept it in the house. You had a bigger version like this.
Yeah.
And you kept it. It was like it was full.
Yeah.
It was like full. And you kept it in the house, and you used to every day just sneak and take it from your bookshelf. You didn't even know that. But
I'm learning.
And I used to take it while Grandma was folding the clothes. I used to go in the room and just
look at his book.
Yeah.
Gias suggested that I give it to her. She said, Mom, I think she would grow from that book. And she went and she got that Barack Obama book. And it's a beautiful book. It's a commemorative book. And then it's the storytelling, the way they tell his story from boyhood to adulthood. And then the images are just eloquent. They're beautiful. So, yeah, she cherished it. Nice cover, hardback. She seemed grateful, but also overwhelmed, like she had something special in her hand, and she does. But actually, it was not as special as her. That girl wants something. Yeah, and she was hungry. She was the first one. She said, Madam, I like to read and I want a book. I said, you my type of girl. So, anything else you want to share?
Yeah.
What?
I went to a prayer camp.
She went to a prayer camp. Apostolic.
Not apostolic, though. Not apostolic.
They weren't apostolic?
They weren't apostolic.
What were they?
They were shofar.
Shofar.
It's like a church for all around the world. You could come from any place, and you could come there.
Teach your mama, teach your mama. Ooh. I ain't never heard of shofar, Jibu.
Yeah, I even have the t-shirt, but you can come from anywhere, from the U.S., from here, from there, all the way. People from all around the world from these years came there to shofar to pray. And they do it anywhere.
So, I assumed it was apostolic because Joseph's church is apostolic, but they actually gathered with other types of believers.
They gathered with all types of other people from different churches.
Okay, and why did you like the camp? She spent 4 days there, by the way.
I liked the camp, but it was kind of terrifying to me because when I first came, there was this pastor was yelling in my ears, and I was hearing all this music and all these people.
She called me. I said, hey, deal with the sister.
All these people were screaming. A girl fell on me while she was like getting this demon out of her body, and I was just like,
well.
And even Grandmother Vic, she even told Priscilla while I was gone. Priscilla finally told me, she said that Gias, when she's going there, she's not even going to pray. She's going to be watching people.
Well, that is your style.
I prayed a lot. At the ending, I prayed a lot because I didn't want none of these people's spirits to come over in me. That's definitely for
If you don't do nothing, you know how to block. Okay.
But I enjoyed the experience. It was all the way at the University of Ghana, and It was at the lagoon,
Okay, look at you.
and it was pretty interesting. The place was very nice.
Do you feel like you're a better human being from it? Tell the truth.
I can't say that,
Okay.
but
Would you go again?
yes, I would definitely want to go again. I'm
Okay.
actually am going again.
April. Am going again. Okay.
In April.
Okay, in April. So you're planning on being here.
Yes.
Okay.
It was just a good experience.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I let her have it. I'm a Christian in transition. That means that for the most part, I have followed the Christian faith, non-denominational. I definitely believe in God and a higher power. But I also am very much connected to ancestral work. I believe that your ancestors matter. That the clues and the messages and the blueprint that they left for us. We need to value that as well. And then I'm a person that's very, very spiritual. So I don't try to control where Gia falls in that. I want her to find her footing in terms of how she feels about faith. I just don't want anything that she directs herself to be demonic. So at this point, the people's hands that I placed her in, they were good, loving people, intelligent people, kind people. I know them very, very well, and so I was actually grateful that they wanted to take Gia on the camp. I think there's a place where sometimes you need to get closer to a higher power, and other people show you how to do that. I think it's also sometimes that you just need to stand in the room and let the spirit of things to just rain down on you. You just need to see and just feel the energy of that. And so it sounds like you got a little bit of that, but you also made some friendships.
Yeah.
You built some relationships, right?
But by the way, I got everybody's phone number. All my friends that I made. It was pretty interesting.
Show them your phone. Right there. And this is where she took her phone numbers.
My
on.
printing came off though.
Okay, so this is her phone. It's like a little Coca-Cola can that was on there. But I got her this phone for Christmas. You'd be surprised how good the phone is. She actually, so she was calling me so much at one point I was gonna block her. Okay, that should tell you how good the phone is. She loves it. It's in her purse. It's an emergency phone where she can take pictures with it, this and the other. And it doesn't cost but about, I want to say about $15-$20 in U.S. money. Anyway, wanted you to say hello to Gia. Look at her falling, getting tired. I wanted you to say hello to Gia. See that Gia is very much here, happy and thriving. You still like Ghana?
Yes, I still like Ghana.
You still like Ghana. You still a Timber Newtown girl?
Sure, until I move.
Until she moved, although she's been kicking it here in Pong quite a bit. But in any case, still loves Ghana, still a Timber Newtown girl, and we're signing off.
Signing off.
Signing off.